Problem solving requires us to be able to use many different sorts of techniques. One useful problem solving technique for some mathematical problems is to use tables to help us organise our thinking. In question 4 of our problem solving sheet, we were asked how many different rectangles can be found in the given figure. Now it's easy to quickly look at the problem and say there's simply just 9 rectangles. When we look closely, we can see that there are other rectangles as well, apart from the obvious ones, which we can say are 1 length by 1 width. We have rectangles which are 2 lengths by 1 width, 3 lengths by 1 width. So to organise our thinking here and to make sure that we list all of our rectangles, we need to be organised. And one way to organise our thinking is to use a table. And this is often quite a useful problem-solving technique because we often begin to see patterns which help us to solve our problem. So let's start off by looking at all of the different sorts of rectangles that we have. And if we focus on just one rectangle at a time, it's going to be possible to count them. So let's draw up a table, the headings rectangle and count. Now the smallest rectangle that we've got is 1 length by 1 width. I'll show that rectangle here, 1 length by 1 width. And if we do a count on all of those, we can see that we're going to have 3 rows of 3 because there are 3 in the first row, 3 in the second row, and 3 in the third row. So if we record our count as a product and then calculate that product, we find that there are 9 rectangles of that size. Now of course there's many more. So let's look at the next rectangle, 2 lengths by 1 width. You notice I'm deliberately choosing 2 lengths by 1 width because I'm simply just increasing the length one at a time and keeping the width the same. So 2 lengths by 1 width. In the first row there's 1 and then a second one if we slip across 1. Now we can see the pattern. There's 2 in each of the rows, so altogether there would be 2 times 3 rows, which would be equal to 6. Now if we go to a rectangle which is 3 lengths by 1 width, that will take up the whole of the first row. So there are going to be 1 in each row. There are 3 rows, so altogether that will make 3 rectangles. The next size rectangle that we will consider are those of 2 widths, and we begin in an organised way by considering 1 length by 2 widths. So 1 length by 2 widths, there's our first one. Of course there's another one here and there's another one here, so there's 3, but we also, if we come down 1, we have another 3, so we have got 2 lots, 2 rows of 3, which is going to be equal to 6. The next size rectangle, following our pattern, is going to be 2 lengths by 2 widths. So 2 lengths by 2 widths, we can see there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's going to be 2 times 2, which is equal to 4. The next size rectangle, 3 lengths by 2 widths. That's 3 lengths by 2 widths. We can simply see there's 1 and then a second one below. So that's going to be 2 times 1, which is equal to 2. Now we'll consider all of the rectangles of 3 width. So the first one will be 1 length by 3 widths, and of course that will be this one. And you can see that there's going to be 3 of those. 1 in the first column, 1 in the second column, 1 in the third column. So there is going to be 3 times 1, which is equal to 3. The next size rectangle is 2 lengths by 3 widths. and for 2 lengths by 3 widths, we can see there's going to be 1, and coming down 1 we have 2, so it's 1 by 2, which is equal to 2. And finally, for 3 lengths times 3 widths, that's the largest rectangle that we have, and there is 1 times 1 of those, which is equal to 1. So now, because we've organised our thinking with a table, we can simply calculate the number of rectangles that we've got. So we have 9 plus 6 is 15, and 3 make 18, and 6 make 24, and 4 make 28, 28 and 2 make 30, 30 and 6 makes 36, so we write down our answer, 36 rectangles. So girls, what we've learned is that tables can often help us organise our thinking for some mathematical problems. The table not only helps us to organise, but also to see patterns that enables us to quickly and simply list all of the rectangles that we have. Thank you, girls.